Welcome everyone, a quick news video regarding Dragon Ball Super Superhero. Of course, we're incredibly close to the release date, for Japan that is, and the official Dragon Ball account on Twitter leading up to it has been releasing some production material, and with some sketches pointing to that the legendary action ace Naotoshi Shida will be working on this film as a storyboarder, and he then confirmed this in the comments that this is indeed his work. Now, this of course doesn't mean Shida will storyboard the entire film. It's certainly not an oddity within the industry for there to be multiple storyboard artists on a film, and it's pretty much guaranteed that director Tetsuro Kodama will be storyboarding a large chunk of it. It's quite likely the other image the official Dragon Ball account posted was from his board. Definitely possible there's even a third artist in this role to balance the workflow. Regardless, this is definitely good news. If you're not at all familiar with Super's production, Shida, despite back in Dragon Ball Z and GT, working predominantly as a key animator, on Super it was actually a little different, as for some time he was stuck to just storyboarding, until finally making his Kie debut with episode 57, and from then on would pop up in that role to handle some of the big moments, while still continuing on storyboarding. Now, while I haven't dived too deeply into the quality of those earlier episodes he supervised, his storyboards and his action scenes later in the series, which we just happened to go over in the last video, flowed very nicely and provided plenty of interesting angles, so I'm confident the action in this film will be compelling. I've already mentioned in previous breakdowns how dynamic some of the poses and angles were, and that I was confident the direction and storyboard, even if the animation is just okay, those would be two departments that would be rather solid. And now that we know Shida's on board, it for one very much guarantees that, and two explains why those shots looked as good as they were. I definitely think you will get a Shida flavor transfer over, even if he's not animating, as he is an artist of course, in contrast to many directors in the industry, including the one for this film, Kodama, who typically don't have much drawing skills, meaning their art is more undefined, which does provide freedom in one sense for animators to put their own spin on things. However, again, as we can see here and in the past, his work is much more refined to your usual storyboard, and so he does have an extra level of sway in the overall look. I'm of course hoping the animators will execute this board well. One advantage of CG is the freedom with the camera and dynamism that can be achieved with it, and Shida is an artist whose philosophy is definitely built around that very element. So it should be a rather interesting pair up. He obviously is a good choice to handle action orientated scenes. Wouldn't be surprised if his classic flowy beam effects with the camera tracker in this movie as well. Hope they are. And also, before finishing up, AJ also mentioned that Yuya Takahashi will be on this film. He'll be animating some of the 2D effects, which we've seen a fair bit of already in the trailers. So yeah, even though this isn't a 2D film, it's still great to have many big names here regardless. I'm actually kind of excited now, and especially with some of the recent trailers. There was that Gohan shot by Kubota, which really sold it for me. But yeah, thank you everyone for watching, and shout out to Diego V269 on Patreon. Tier 1 doesn't get you a shout out, but being one of the first on there, Diego definitely deserves it. So thank you there, man. And yeah, with that, I'll see you guys later.